Okay, what's up, guys? We are going to be doing our first stream on this channel, and we're going to be reacting to some videos. Then we're going to do a tier list, and then maybe we can do some Q&A. So let's hop right into it. This is Alex Hormozy, How to Catch Up in Life Using Logic.
Ambitious but not sure what to do.
Whoa.
If you're ambitious but not sure what to do, I want to share 6 principles, really just actions that have helped me get to where I want. And these are the same 6 things that allowed me to go from having only $1,000 to my name and sleeping on the gym floor to now having a portfolio of companies that last year did north of 250 million a year. And the reason I'm making this video is because I'm on a mission to get the next generation of men and women to make their first $100,000. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think that if you can participate in the economy, you will believe in capitalism, and I think that will set up the next generation for much bigger and better things. So let's just start with principle number 1, which is build capacity. And so what to do when you're not sure what to do is you build capacity. So for example, if you don't know what you're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like there's just like a lot of times when you get in that stage where you just don't know exactly what the next step is, or like what exactly it is to do, and you have that like motivation in the moment, but you don't exactly know, like, I guess, what specifically to do with that and how to channel it. So it'll be interesting. I have that problem sometimes.
When you're not sure what to do is you build capacity. So for example, if you don't know what you're going to do tomorrow, you should go and bet on time today. When you're not sure what you're going to do, still might as well be rested. That's building capacity. You can get in shape when you don't have dates lined up. Like, you don't have one lined up, but it can help you when the opportunity strikes. You can save money when you're not sure where you're going to invest, because at least you'll have the money so that when the investment comes, you'll have the opportunity to take action. And so the thing about opportunities is that they present themselves to everyone, and only people with capacity can both recognize and capitalize on them. So don't be in the bleachers when the fat pitch comes. You want to be at the plate, you want to have already practiced your swing, and you want to be ready to go.
Well, I think I just guess that one thing is like you don't know exactly what like specific section to be like building capacity in, though. Like, you know, it could be working out, or it could be like working on a business, or working on your social skills, or whatever. But it's hard to know exactly like what to do, I guess, specifically like what to build capacity in what realm.
And I'll give you a case study that actually can drive this point home. So there was a study they did at Princeton grad school. It was called like the Good Samaritan study, where they had seminary students who saw themselves as moral people, right? They were studying to become priests. And they asked them to write a paper on being a good Samaritan and then to present it. All right. And so what was interesting about this is that in the study, they separated them into 3 groups. And so on the way to give the presentation, there was this very narrow hallway into the auditorium. And in the narrow hallway, they put someone who had fallen and clearly needed help. Group 1 was people who were 10 minutes late. Group 2 was people who were on time. And group 3 was people who were early.
Oh, so is it like the people early are going to be more likely to actually be a good Samaritan, or like be helpful?
All right. Now, guess what correlation how people rated themselves in their essay had to do with the likelihood that they would stop and help the person?
Huh.
You're right. Fucking 0. All right. You know what did have the highest correlation with the likelihood that they stopped and helped the person? How late they were. And let me tell you how big of a difference it was. The difference between the people who were 10 minutes early and 10 minutes late was a 6x difference in who stopped to actually help the person. And the reason I see this is so important is that right now, there are opportunities that come to you right now that you cannot even recognize because you do not have capacity to do anything about it.
Oh, so the idea is like you have to be early, you have to be ready. I guess being ready and being early, so the more like ready you are for when opportunities arrive. Right, if you're early, in that example, you'll have the opportunity to be a good Samaritan. If you're rushing 10 minutes late, you're not even going to have the chance to do it. So you have to get ready now, or like ahead. That makes sense.
And so here's some of the ways that I recommend building capacity, starting with number 2, money. So if you don't know what to invest in, save money. Money buys time, and time buys optionality. And so let's go tactical. So how do I go about actually saving money? So I'm gonna walk through each category very quickly. So food, that means you just don't eat out for anything. It's very straightforward. If you're hungry, you deal with it, right? You only buy from discount grocery.
Deal with it. No, but I mean that is facts. Like eating out is so expensive. I just think nowadays, just cook at home, unless you're rich.
That means you just don't eat out for anything. It's very straightforward. If you're hungry, you deal with it, right? You only buy from discount grocery stores. It's not that hard.
Discount.
Clothing. Whatever you have right now is all you need for the next 2 years, zero exceptions, right? Reuse what you have, trade, or at the very worst, you can go to Goodwill.
Yeah, I hope he says something about like subscriptions because I'm very much like anti like entertainment subscriptions, Netflix, all that. I just feel like it's a waste of money.
All right. From a housing perspective, live as cheaply as you can, ideally with your own family, or worst case with another family that's also trying to save money.
Yeah.
And if you're like younger and you're like, none of us have families, and that's fine, then all 6 of you bunk up in one place, split bedrooms if you have to. And that's what ultimately in the early part of my career, it was like $300 or $400 a month for me to just keep the lights on. Not hard when you're splitting one bedroom in a 6-bedroom house. Now, all of this stuff, we have the last cost, which is time costs. So think about your time like a financial asset. Stop doom scrolling and wasting the 2 to 4 hour window you have outside of work. So you're 5 to 9 a.m. and then you're 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Those 8 hours a day, those are the hours where you're going to have to get ahead because you have to.
No, if you have school or work, like you just have to, section off the time before and after, and like you end up realizing like you have either you have much more time than you like thought you would have, if you just like actually start using it for stuff, ways like to get ahead or build capacity, I guess as he's saying, or you're just like doing something and you're committed to something that is less important. Like, for me, I played a lot of music and I just realized it wasn't as important to me, so I was using all that time, for these commitments. And once I like kind of started decommitting less, I just opened up so much more time for myself. And I mean, I was able to, put so much time into different like self-improvement stuff, whether it was fitness, working on a business and making content, all kinds of stuff that just made my life better. So I agree.
You have to basically live for today to pay for today, but you have to plan and prepare for tomorrow, which is what those other 8 hours are for. Number 3 on this stack here is add skills and practice them. And the second part is just as important as the first. So now you've got some money, right? It should be saved up. Where do you spend that money? So I recommend spending all excess cash on acquiring skills until you...
I don't know. Like, I feel like as someone who hasn't like made millions of dollars like him, like, I do feel like you can waste a lot of money acquiring skills if you pivot. And I mean, I don't know, excess money, I think it's like you can definitely acquire skills. I like paying for services, so like I kind of take a lot of money and invest it, and then the rest I invest it in like not so much like learning skills myself, but like an AI subscription for something that can make me more efficient with my business, or just like some health stuff that is gonna like give me more energy, stuff like that, where it's like it's investing in myself without literally betting on skills, not really buying like courses or coaching. Coaching can be great, but I don't think I'm at like a position right now where I would want to invest in coaching. So I actually kind of disagree with this. I think you should invest some money in like actual like stocks and to grow your money, even if it's like have a backup plan if the skills don't pan out.
You have so much that you can't possibly spend on any more skills. So increase your capacity to earn, which increases the value of your highest cash producing asset. You know what that is? You, right? And what's relevant today is that skills are inflation proof. Whether we're trading in Bitcoin or seashells in the future, if you've got value to give.
I mean, I don't think that's true. And the reason I say it's not true is because, like, if you think about like grades, right? Like, it used to be very easy to get into a college, like a very good college, a while ago, and it's less easy now, and that's because there's more people like who are just literally born, and there are more people who like there's more opportunities for more people, so people are getting smarter, better, faster. They're growing up with more opportunities, with more money, and so they can acquire more skills and be more competition for you. So I actually think there's a natural inflation in skills, just like there is in anything else like money.
If people will exchange for it. So if you're ever worried about all this technology, what am I going to do? The only thing and the only logical step you can do is double down on skills and make yourself more valuable. Now, understand that learning will never hurt you.
Yeah, there's no downside to acquiring skills, except the fact that you're wasting money. We're going to take a pause for a second. We are back, and let's resume where we were.
Skills and make yourself more valuable. Now, understand that learning will never hurt you. All right, it's always additive. And even in things that are bad, and listen, I paid for all that stuff that I just said, and not all of it was good. The thing is that I believe that winners win no matter what. And so, how can you have something that's bad and then you think that you get better from it? Well, if I learn all the things not to do, then I learned. And if it changes my behavior in a way that makes me more likely to succeed, then I got better. And so if you look at the world that way, then everything serves you rather than you serving it. And so I'll give you a basic analogy from a skills perspective, from a stacking angle. I like this example because a lot of people know who he is. So Jay-Z is a rapper, right? And now he's a businessman. I mean, a businessman. Well, little, if you know, you know. Anyways, in the beginning, maybe he had rhythm, right? Maybe that was what he was naturally born with or inclined with, right? And then he learned how to rap. And then he learned how to write lyrics.
So his skills combined, right? If he had just one of them on their own, it's like barely even valuable, right? But if he combines that, then all of a sudden he's like a great producer.
And then he learned how to market. Or
Yeah.
he probably learned how to sell first. And then he learned how to market. And with each of these, he became more and more successful. And then he learned how to get other artists and market them. So he learned how to make a label. And then he learned how to get Beyonce.
Yeah.
But you can see here how with each of these skills, that person who has all of these skills, somebody who just has rhythm, not that valuable. Someone who can just rap, a little bit more valuable than someone who has rhythm. Someone who can rap and write lyrics, more valuable. Someone who can do that and then sell, they can sell their way into, getting shows, they can sell people on the street. All of a sudden they can sell their CDs. CDs, Jesus. They can sell. And so he has this, which makes all of these other things more valuable. And then he learned how to promote, which made all of these other skills more valuable. Because now he's not just selling out one or two, small venues. He can promote and go national. But then there's still a limit to the amount that he can do here. So that's when he starts.
Well, I just think that a lot of these skills nowadays, you can pay for. So, like, maybe he does this, he gets a little bit of money, and then you can automate a lot of stuff with AI. You can pay for subscriptions. So, like, I think, I don't know, a lot of skills that are going to be, like, valuable, you can pay for, and so you can get ahead that way. Like, I don't know, in some of my businesses, I have to design a lot of logos, websites, coding, right? Coding is a big thing for me. I don't know how to code, but I've just paid for AI, right? $20 a month. And so it's one of these skills that's adding on top, and it's just adding because I literally paid for it. And so I get a whole nother skill with the money that I made from my other skills, and then it compounds. So I don't think you just have to learn it either. You can, like, pay for it to add on.
Starts recruiting other people to his labels, to his brands. And this is what continues to stack skills. I'll give you a financial example of this. Maybe in the beginning, you're somebody who's really good at math. Okay, being good at math is not that valuable of a skill. Then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, I'll learn how to do bookkeeping. All right, well, that's more valuable than just math, but you need math in order to have bookkeeping. And then you learn how accounting works. Okay, and then you learn how taxes work, and all of a sudden you can start saving in business money. Now, do you need to know math in order to do taxes? Yes. Do you understand how accounting works in order to do taxes? Yes. Right. All of these things stack. Now, let's say that you start learning about insurance, and then you start learning about M&A. Right.
Yeah,
all of these things.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the scary thing is when AI can do all of these, right? Which I mean, it probably can pretty well already do most of these, and I feel like it's kind of climbing that ladder. But I feel like kind of at the top of the ladder is the most important stuff, which is like connecting with humans and like social skills, networking skills, like agency, like actually going out and starting stuff. And that's the stuff that can't get automated. And then you can kind of just like design your lower stack given like, right, given literally just AI having it do these things. And then you can like I guess take your very high level skills and then you focus on, I don't even know what M&A is, but right, the higher stuff up over here, and then that's gonna be the stuff that you provide, and that's gonna be the stuff that's still valuable.
Still need to know math, but these, when taken together, become significantly more valuable as a person. About your second grade math teacher as an idiot, as soon as you learn calculus, you needed arithmetic in order to learn calculus. And so wherever you're at in this journey right now, it's not like, oh my God, why can't I do this? It's like you still have to move through the steps. Now, how fast you do that depends on how quickly you change your behavior. And so hopefully this video at least nudges you in that direction to start changing what you do.
Yeah.
So the fourth example of kind of building capacity before you know what to do is to build an audience without a product. Right. So what does that mean? So
yeah, this is a big one. I mean, if you're into business, you should be like really working, like creating content, talking to people, like just trying to get people who would be willing to buy before you actually like sell anything. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing with this channel, right? I don't have a product, but I'm creating an audience, and I think that's really valuable.
You don't need a product to start. You need attention, because attention gives you leverage. And so if you have a group of people who know, like, and trust you, even when you don't have a product, you're basically building potential energy, right? Yeah. If you were the #1 most followed person on the planet, the day you start, whatever you start, it's going to be a smashing, probably $100 million success. Literally, if you were the most known person on the planet and you charged any amount of money for anything, you could then make, basically, you pretty much be set for life, all right? And so from the building of a quote audience is you just talk about the things that you're doing. Because right now you're like, well, I don't have any proof. Of course you don't have proof. You haven't done anything yet. But what you can do is do work and document the work you do. And so what you want to do is like either you have epic proof or epic effort. In the fitness world, there's people who are like, okay, I'm 6 months out from my first fitness competition. Doesn't matter where you start. If you do something epic, document all the volume of work you do along the way, and people will follow you. Now, a version of this, like the next step here.
Yeah, I mean, also just like in creating content specifically, like reacting to content like this right now, right? Like then you can kind of give your opinion on something that has a lot more authority, right? Obviously, Alex Hormozi is more successful than I am. And also, I guess just sharing opinions. Yeah, but documenting stuff is great too. I think live streams are a great way to like build an audience.
The volume of work you do along the way, and people will follow you. Now, a version of this, like the next step here, would be build a wait list. So this is kind of step 5. So in other words, before you build the thing, build the list of people who want the thing. So a person who pays with their time now is more likely to pay with their money later. And this is what an audience does. You provide value to them with your time. They pay back with their time. They say they're willing to wait for the thing. All of these things are indicators that they're likely or more likely to make a purchase with you.
Yeah.
So number 6 is you can build capacity by building your network potential by meeting.
I don't think networking is as valuable as people like say it is. And I think that just mostly honestly because like if you are networking without any like substance or you don't have any success or anything to bring to the table, you're not really going to get anywhere. Like I mean, I guess as an underdog, you can get like opportunities, but you definitely have to like put in the work. Like, I think networking without effort or proof or like value that you're bringing to the table is pretty much useless. I think when you network in a way where you're the underdog and you're trying to get an opportunity from someone, or you're trying to like collaborate as someone who's already had some success and is bringing value, that's when networking can be powerful and it can like amplify your work.
People. So think about two people: one person who stays in and watches Netflix, or somebody who goes out to a coffee shop, or someone who goes to the gym. In either of those scenarios, your luck surface area expands. You're more likely, for sure, in each of those scenarios. And if you do this every single day, you continue to expand that luck exposure.
Yeah.
And so if you want to be successful in something, in anything, spend time with the people who are already doing it. Because the fastest way to change your life is to change the people who are around you.
Yeah, you definitely are a product of like the people that you're around a lot more than we realize. And like, I don't know, you kind of start to realize that over time, like who you spend time with, you start to be like them, you start to naturally get influenced. It's like, I don't know, you get like pulled towards them and they get pulled towards you. It's kind of a gravitational effect.
You who affect your life. And so being willing to move to where the opportunity is one of the biggest kind of hacks out there. I think Chamath talked about this in a video, but like, if you want to be in finance, you got to be in New York, right? If you want to be in film, it's like you probably got to be in Hollywood. If you want to be in politics, you got to be in DC. Now, if you
Well, the internet is making that less of a thing.
don't want to be in those kind of like more traditional paths, there's a lot more places that you could be. But the idea is like there are hubs, and if you want to get into a space, the best way to do it is get to the hub. And so if you're not sure what to do right now, you should know exactly what to do, which is that you build capacity and you wait for the pitches that you can swing at to come. And so maybe you're getting ball after ball after ball, but what do you do to make sure that when the fat pitch comes, you're ready? It's like you practice your swing. You start doing your sprints so that like you can actually get around the bases faster, right? You start working on coordination drills. You start working on your hip, your power. You start going to the gym, right? Like all of these things would be things that when that pitch comes, you'll maximize the likelihood that you smash it out of the park. But so many of you are waiting for this fat pitch to then begin and getting lapped by people who already were prepared. And so the key word here, in order to build capacity, you build by preparing.
Yeah, I guess you just have to like wait for opportunities and like build. But I honestly think like if I had to disagree with something specifically from this, I would say like you don't even have to wait for the pitch to come. You can get a ball and toss it up and hit it yourself. Like, I mean, obviously like there will be opportunities thrown at you, but like creating your own opportunities, right? Like creating a channel, right? Going to the gym, right? You don't have to wait for anyone to give you an invitation, right? You can go start working out right now. You can start, talking to people, right? You don't have to wait until you're in a great social environment. You can build, I guess that is kind of building capacity, right? But you can also go and put yourself in environments where you will have opportunities to network with great people, to meet people. So, I mean, I do think to an extent it's important to build capacity, but it's also important to like find opportunities for yourself. Like I'd actually say that's very important. That was How to Catch Up in Life Using Logic by Alex Hormozy. Full credit to him. We're going to watch another video. Is Your Phone Destroying Your Progress by Noel Denzel. And this video starts at 27 seconds, so let's jump right into it.
The average person spends around 3 hours per day on social media. And while this may not seem like a lot,
Dude, that does seem like a lot. That's crazy.
Spends around 3 hours per day on social media. And while this may not seem like a lot, over the course of a month, that's over 90 hours. 3 entire days gone to what most people would consider a waste of time. And I know that a lot of us spend more than 3 hours on social media every day. Think about this. What was the last short form video that you watched on social media? And what did you gain from it?
Yeah, I literally like can't even remember. I mean, to be honest, I don't watch that much. I have like very strict time limits. I suggest just putting screen time limit, right? Like 5 minutes, 1 minute. Like I have literally screen time limits of 1 minute on some of my apps, and it's just so helpful because there's just no denying it. I mean, you have to set it up in a certain way where you can like create 2 Apple accounts, but you can use AI to, find the best way for you, where it's really hard to get around, basically impossible to get around.
Piece of content that you consume is an input. And no matter how small it may feel in the moment, all of these inputs are slowly molding you into a different version of yourself. My issue being that a lot of people who you're seeing online don't want what's best for you. They're being paid to promote an unhealthy lifestyle and sell you manufactured dreams. I know all.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff with, like, gambling and, there's just so much, like, culture that's just, like, milking people for money, and it works. That's why they do it, and I don't know, it's kind of sad. You just have to, like, completely, like, separate your identity from that. Just be like, I don't want that.
Promote an unhealthy lifestyle and sell you manufactured dreams. I know all of us could scroll less, and we all have dreams and aspirations of things that we want to achieve, and we need to understand the reason.
I feel like it's almost normalized. Like, all of us could scroll less. Like, don't normalize it. It's not like our guilty pleasure, right? Like, you need to stop, right? Don't, like, be like, yeah, we should scroll less. Like, literally stop scrolling.
Dreams and aspirations of things
and, like,
that we
block
want
it so you can't even, continue. Like, create systems in your life where it's very hard, right? You make it so you have to put a passcode in while you scroll, and then wait 5 minutes, and then, you have to, there's ways to do this stuff. So I would go to an AI chat and just be like, how can I create as much friction as possible? So I stopped using my social media, and then keep at it. You'll fail, but keep getting back at it.
And we need to understand the reason why it feels so much more difficult to achieve these things. Everywhere you look, something is competing for your attention, and this is not by mistake. Billion-dollar tech companies have entire teams dedicated to making sure that you stay on their app. They pour millions into research, finding out ways to keep you locked in for longer. And well, how do they achieve this? Each scroll of a short video releases a hit of dopamine to your brain, which in turn signals you to keep on scrolling. Your brain is thinking, I wonder what the next video is going to be. And each new video subconsciously feels like a reward. Your brain.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely, like, engineering it to hack your brain for dopamine. They're definitely, like, engineering it to hack your brain for dopamine. And, I mean, I honestly think the best, like, way to fight this is just to block it. Like, block it, make it hard. Like, when you have the motivation, go create friction, right? There's a million ways to do it. And, like, uninstall apps, delete your account, right? Like, go extreme, and then you will not regret it. And, I mean, like, we can understand that they're hacking our brains and they're putting a lot of money into it. But, like, at the end of the day, the solution is to fight it. So, that's what I'd say.
New video subconsciously feels like a reward. Your brain is literally on a hamster wheel of short form video. This is the very same concept of instant gratification that keeps people hooked on other addictions. However, society doesn't view media addiction in the same way. Phone and social media addiction has unfortunately become very normalized. Now, the dangerous part of...
Yeah, that is, he said it on the thing, like, everyone, like, just scrolls all the time. Everyone does just wastes so much time. It's everywhere, but, like, that's not an excuse for you to do it, right? Like, if everyone was a terrible person and hated their life and hated everybody around them, that doesn't mean, like, it's fine for you to be a terrible person, right? Like, it's still your responsibility to fight, right? Like, and even if it's not your fault, you should view it that way, because if you don't, then you're just gonna get sucked into it, and, like, nobody's gonna save you, so you might as well save yourself, right? Otherwise, you're cooked.
All of this lies within the way that your brain is wired. Dopamine was never supposed to become unlimited this way. Instead, it was meant to be a chemical that's released in your brain after survival or an achievement. And this, I believe, was to encourage ancient humans to remain on their path. But today, you can get that same chemical hit by lying on your bed, just staring at a screen. And when your brain gets rewarded without any effort, over and over again, then becomes the expectation. Your brain thinks, why would I need exercise?
Yeah, dopamine becomes expectation, and then what happens is that you get a new baseline. So this is your baseline dopamine. If you're living in the wilderness, catching fish and building houses with wood, this is a baseline when you're scrolling all day. So then if you were to go there, you'd literally feel like you're going to die and you feel like terrible. And whenever you do an activity like that, right? Because the second you turn off the short form video, you drop and you feel terrible. And then you're going to want to go back to feel good again. And then you're going to get addicted. And then this is going to be exercising. This is going to be building a business. This is going to be, doing a hard thing, right? Going out, talking to people socially. And so what's going to happen is you're not going to want to do those things. Then you're going to spend all your time scrolling. Your life is going to suck. And you're going to hate everything.
Over and over again, then becomes the expectation. Your brain thinks, why would I need exercise or to accomplish something when I could be temporarily happy right now? And your brain starts detaching from your goals, looking for an easy way out. Things like studying and working out feel like an impossible task. And even something as simple as a conversation with a loved one feels like a burden. Now, I'm not saying that social media as a whole is bad. I mean, it's completely shaped mine and others.
It's not social media anymore, it's interest media. Social media implies that it's social, which means like friends, right? If you're socializing, you're not, like, socializing isn't going to be, you watching your favorite creator who has no idea you exist. Socializing is like you hang out with your friends, right? Social media might be more like Snapchat or like certain parts of Instagram, right? But now that they have these reels, scrolling, it's interest media, right? So it's what you're interested in, right? So it's a funny cat reel. That's like interest media, not social media. And the problem with interest media is that it's super, super, super addictive. And I mean, he said right here it can be good, and how his whole brand was built on interest media. That's because, like, I think honestly actual interest media can be better, right? Like, I'm watching interest media right now. I'm watching the media of him. This is media, but I think where it gets bad is just the hyper dopamine stuff that's engineered to basically just like rot away your life. And I think depending on like your interest, right, it can obviously be really good, but like the gambling stuff, the scrolling addictive stuff, that's the stuff that's really like bringing it down. And that's what everyone's addicted to these days. That's not an excuse for you to be addicted.
Now, I'm not saying that social media as a whole is bad. I mean, it's completely shaped mine and others' careers, as well as served as a platform to the entire world to become more connected. But in the past few years, social media has changed so much. Yes, it's still partially positive, but there's so much new negative content. And
it's just like how people use it, right? Like if all the videos were about self-improvement and good stuff, right? And we're trying to help you, and that's all people posted, that would, would be amazing, right? But if it's this addictive engineered stuff, and so because it's all that stuff, it's just how people use it. So it's going to be negative. So if people are using it for negative things, then it's going to be negative. So it's not naturally a bad thing. You can build a brand on it. I'm on it right now, if you're watching this video. Noel Denzel is posting video on media. But that doesn't mean that media is good, it's just how people use it. So I think, obviously, people are going to try to make money off of it, and they'll be willing to do bad stuff, addict people, and spread, gambling, and make scrolling addictive. So that's the bad part about it.
Yes, it's still partially positive, but there's so much new negative content. And some of it seems to be designed to be especially negative, aimed at younger people. Constant stimulation destroys your ability to appreciate the present moment. When you spend all day comparing yourself to others online, you stop building your own life and goals. And instead, you start consuming and comparing yourself to everyone else. I'm super strict on not going on my phone in the mornings.
Don't sleep with your phone in the room. That'll change your life. That will literally change your life. Don't sleep within your room. Set limits. So, like, until 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., you can't use social media. You can't use even YouTube, right? And you need to actually stick with it and set it up in a way where you can't just, like, bypass the limit right away, which can be hard to do. You might end up paying, like, a few dollars for some kind of blocker app or whatever, but it's so worth it, trust me. Or you can probably set up in a freeway if you really want to. I just use AI and just kind of have it walk you through how to do that.
I'm super strict on not going on my phone in the mornings or checking social media when I wake up, because I find that if I do, I'm more likely to doom scroll throughout my day. Another rule that I have is no phone when walking or using the toilet, because these small time scrolling just make you crave it more and more. Your environment and what you put into your brain shapes you, and you need to start controlling the person that you want to become. And that's rather than the person that social media manipulates you to become. Now, I know this is an issue that we're continuously going to be having because phones are not going away. It's that we have to become more conscious of these things. I really hope that you guys gained something from this video. I'll see you next week.
Fire video. Yeah, I agree 100%. Get off social media, block the stuff, and just focus on yourself. Improve your life. That was Is Your Phone Destroying Your Progress by Noel Denzel. Full credit to him. Great video. Now, how long have we been live? Let me just check. 40 minutes. We're not getting any views. Alright, we're going to do a tier list, then we're going to close it out, I think. Alright, this is going to be my self-improvement tier list. We are going to be ranking exercise first. And this is going in the A tier. The reason it's not S tier is because it's definitely like something that can go over and it's easy to do wrong. But I think as a baseline of exercise for like 90% of people, you're going to want to do kind of like weights training. I try to do it at home because it makes a lot less friction to just be doing like weights at home than to be going to the gym, right? You can do push-ups, you can do pull-ups, you can do all kinds of stuff too if you don't have dumbbells, but I would buy a pair. You're going to want to do strength training, yeah. And then, honestly, cardio is fine. It's not necessary, but it will really help if you have like sleep problems, concentration problems. It's kind of a lot closer to meditating than people think about. But honestly, I would definitely work in some cardio, and I would have the strength training, which is really necessary. But fitness-wise, what you eat is way more important than exercise. Exercise is honestly more for energy and that kind of stuff. You can't really build muscle without exercise, but like it's not gonna have as much of an impact as diet. Next, calendar. S tier. The reason that calendar is so important and just like using a calendar, putting everything you do in your calendar, is just because you have such a good idea. It just clears your mind. Like, people don't realize, but especially nowadays with like all the stuff that we're doing, you'll have different aspects of your life, all that kind of stuff. It's so easy to just get overwhelmed, and we're kind of in a state of like constant overwhelm. And the way that we fix this is it's super simple. Get a calendar, put everything that you do in your calendar, right? I just use Google Calendar, literally just everything like sleep, school, work, anything that you do weekly, a meeting with anyone, all that kind of stuff. Always just have it blocked out in your calendar as an event, and then put tasks and put repeating, and have everything just be repeating. So your life, like literally map your life out as a system. It sounds crazy, but like you will literally never want to go back. Like there's a reason that calendar is higher than exercise. Next, we're gonna do meditation. C tier. Meditation is pretty mid for me. This is just my own experiences, guys. This is not fact. This is not law. But honestly, I think meditation is pretty mid. I think one of the reasons that people think meditation is like so good, so important is just because like, I don't know, it gives you that peace of mind. But I think we are so far away. Like meditation is on the very extreme level of self-improvement, because if you just stop using social media or only use it for like 5 minutes a day max, that will do way more for you than meditating. And you won't be able to meditate if you're using it at all. And then again, right, like if you always have, you know, if your phone, here's an example of something that's really super stimulating, is your phone is in color. I have my phone and my device in grayscale all the time. It makes it way less stimulating, right? If I make that one change, I'll be on my phone 30 to 70% less. That's scientifically proven. And same with my computer. And I'll be wasting my time a lot less. And so stuff like that is going to give you back that clear mind just as much as meditating is. And meditating can take it to an extreme once you have the basics down. But like going in nature, going for walks, getting out of the house, getting off the screen, all that stuff, you know, just connecting with people who are close to you, like that stuff is going to be just as important. And it's going to be more important if you're not already doing it. Meditation is good for once you already have all the basics down and you're living like people lived, you know, I don't know, 100 years ago. Obviously, there's a lot more good stuff about today, but like in terms of your stimulation, right? So, or even farther back in the past. So that's going to be meditation. It's pretty mid. It's also very hard to do, hard to make sustainable. You'll quit and then you'll feel bad about yourself. So unless you're really committed, I suggest trying it, but, you know, C tier. It's not for everyone. Walking. Boom. A tier. This is so underrated. First of all, with fitness, if you're walking, it burns a lot of calories. And the thing is with exercise, you might burn 100 calories exercising and only 20 calories walking, for instance, in the same amount of time. But to be honest, walking still burns a lot of calories, like more than you'd expect. Exercising is way harder, so you'll only do 30 minutes to an hour of exercising a day maximum before you're just too tired and your body can't go on. And there'll be diminishing returns. Whereas walking, you can do as much walking as you want to burn calories. And that's really like burning fat, which is like what a lot of people are into these days. That's all walking. Like walk. It will do wonders. And then the other thing is you won't get hungry again, right? So I was saying exercising, you might lift weights and do cardio for an hour, burn 100 calories. You will eat back, scientifically proven, probably 50 to 90 calories of that, right? So it's a lot less than you actually think. Whereas walking, you don't really eat back the calories at all. So, you know, you burn the same 20 calories, and at the end of the day, you could end up actually like getting the same calorie burn from a fat loss perspective, accounting for like the food that you eat back and the calories that you eat back because you get hungry, walking and exercising in the same amount of time. So actually walking is super great. It's super underrated, and it's a great time to call up friends, connect with people that you need to connect with, consume self-improvement content or content that's going to help you. If you're, you know, feeling a bit more tired, you can create content if you're into like business, and you know, you can like schedule out productivity, do your calendar stuff on your phone, you know, have a chat with AI about self-improvement. You can do all of that while you are walking, going on these daily walks, and you'll get out, you'll get fresh air, vitamin D. It's so good for you. Very underrated. That's going to be A tier. Coffee. B tier. Coffee is good. It gives you energy. It helps suppress your appetite a little bit, so like you generally will have a little bit less like calories coming in, which can be a really good thing. It can definitely make your teeth less white. I have pretty white teeth since I brush a lot very well, and I have teeth whitening strips. But coffee is great overall. I suggest having a big cup of coffee every morning for productivity. It'll help you focus. Take coffee before you do like your deep work for the day. So whatever that is that's important. And really think about what's actually important to you. So like for me, I thought it was going to be school, but really it's actually, you know, working on business, making this content. So I have my coffee before I make this content. So it's going to be different for everyone, but coffee is really amazing, super important. And so that's going to be our self-improvement list for 2026, guys. Catch you guys in the next one. All right, W Stream. I'm closing out.